Next on the news, fit for a queen, fit to Hail Mary.
You see that crown up there on Mary's head? It's beautiful, right? Well, it was made by hand. Two parishioners here at St. Francis de Sales Church in Belle Harbor have been crowning Mary not just during May, but every month of the year. I'm Jessica Easthope. I'll have that story coming up tonight on Currents News.
And they're off. Thousands of pilgrims processing thousands of miles. The National Eucharistic Pilgrimage has begun. And in just days, they'll reach New York City. How you can join the Emmaus moment. Plus, 'tis the season for college graduations. Bishop Robert Brennan received a prestigious degree this weekend, 40 years after first walking across this stage. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. Their love for the Blessed Mother is everlasting, a devotion shown all year round, a mission to adorn the Queen of Heaven. Two Belle Harbor parishioners don't just crown the Blessed Mother come May, but instead Hail Mary every month of the year. Each headpiece is handmade and crafted with care, fit for a queen, the Queen of all saints. Currents News' Jessica Easthope has more.
I've burnt myself many times.
Hot glue, zip ties, and fabric flowers are all it takes for Eileen Savelli to show her love.
Just make sure that nothing's falling.
She's hand-making a crown to go on this statue of Mary outside her parish, St. Francis de Sales in Belle Harbor.
No, it feels great. It really does. It's a beautiful statue outside.
Eileen takes care of the crafting and crowning, but the idea came when Kathy Somerville, her former high school classmate and fellow parishioner, noticed the statue could use some attention.
She didn't like the way the crown looked. It was kind of, in her words, shabby.
Make it a little tighter and a little to the left.
The Blessed Mother brings me hope and life, and I just didn't like the way it looked.
At first, Kathy was purchasing the supplies, and the women would crown Mary with a new headpiece every few months. But then they realized the Queen of Heaven deserves to look like royalty year-round.
It's more about adorning the Mother of all.
Now the money for Eileen's supplies is donated by parishioners. They make a new crown every month, each with a different theme.
Next month for June white for weddings.
But one thing never changes.
Peace and solace is what it gives me.
The ladies are already planning for the future.
I have 11 nieces and nephews, 9 of them here in St. Francis, and I told them that they'll have to take it over.
But they don't plan to stop anytime soon.
I plan on doing it as long as I can jump a fence.
As long as the statue stands, there will be a crown on her head. In Belle Harbor, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
What a great story. During the Christmas season and in May, Eileen and Kathy switch out the crowns twice a month. The National Eucharistic Pilgrimage is now underway. After a Pentecost vigil mass at St. Mary Church in New Haven over the weekend, pilgrims on the Elizabeth Ann Seton route got on their way, following the Blessed Sacrament through the city streets, stopping at another church, then ending at the waterfront, where they boarded a boat for the next leg of their journey. Archbishop Christopher Coyne of Hartford led the pilgrims out of St. Mary's and described to us the inspiring show of faith.
I remember at one point pausing and turning around and looking back because we were on a long stretch and just seeing a great parade of people behind me, close to 600 to 700 people, because many people joined us who weren't able to get into the church as well.
The Archbishop says despite the light rain, the pilgrims persevered. Those pilgrims are on their way to the Diocese of Brooklyn right now, making their way into the city on Memorial Day weekend. Here's how you can join the journey. The easiest spot to meet up with the pilgrims in Manhattan is at St. Patrick's Cathedral. They'll be at the landmark cathedral at 10 a.m. on Sunday, May 26th. From there, they'll eventually make their way to the Brooklyn Bridge, where the journey will be passed off into the Diocese of Brooklyn. The procession will head to the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph for adoration and exposition of the Blessed Sacrament. before another full day of stops throughout the diocese. From Brooklyn, the pilgrimage will travel through New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Ohio, and eventually end up in Indianapolis for the National Congress. Remember, this is just one of 4 routes traveling across the country to the Congress. Altogether, the pilgrims will be traveling 6,500 miles and passing through 65 dioceses. And even though the pilgrims will only actually be in Brooklyn for about 24 hours total, they will make several stops in the diocese. Father Joseph Givino, vicar for evangelization and catechesis in the Diocese of Brooklyn, joins us now to tell us more. Hi, Father.
How are you?
I'm well. So the pilgrims will be visiting a number of churches for Mass, Eucharistic adoration, prayers, the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph in Prospect Heights, St. Charles Borromeo in Brooklyn Heights, Our Lady of Angels in Bay Ridge, just to name a few. So what went into planning all of this? How did you decide the stops?
Well, it was actually looking at the routes, what is safe to walk in Brooklyn, and how the police felt would be the best way to keep everyone together and out of harm's way as we process with the Blessed Sacrament. So we just made a straight line from the Brooklyn Bridge through to Bay Ridge.
I love it. So we kind of have breaking news here. We just heard that part of the procession will take place on a boat. The pilgrimage sails from Brooklyn across the Hudson to New Jersey. So tell us more details on that.
Exactly. Right by the Brooklyn Bridge, the pilgrims will get on a boat with 15 dignitaries, and they will go to Liberty Island for a pass-by blessing. So parishioners have been invited to get on ferry boats at Battery Park, get to the Statue of Liberty, and be there to greet the Eucharist as the boat slows down for the blessing and moves on to Perth Amboy.
It sounds like quite the journey. It's supposed to be tough but fun. Remember, it is a pilgrimage. Why should people take part in this? What will they get out of it?
It's a pilgrimage, and we all journey together. And in this time of the synodal gatherings that we've been having, what better way to journey together than literally follow the Eucharist on the streets and proclaim to people that we believe in the real presence. Memorial Day weekend was the day that we were given by the National Committee, but with all the parades that will be going on, it's our time to say this is a procession. It's not a parade. It's much more blessed and grace-filled.
Absolutely. So before she left, we spoke with one of the perpetual pilgrims on the Elizabeth Ann Seton route. Zoe Dongas told us what she's most excited for. Let's listen.
I think it's going to be really, really cool when it comes through, I'm biased, but through the Archdiocese of New York and the Diocese of Brooklyn.
Oh, of course, of course.
The transition point, we're going to do benediction on the Brooklyn Bridge between the Arch and between the Diocese of Brooklyn, and just to get everyone together and to celebrate our Eucharistic Lord on the Brooklyn Bridge, one of the most iconic places here in New York City, it's going to be pretty wild.
All right, so very quickly, what are you looking forward to?
Actually, there was a little change. Bishop Brennan invited Bishop Mansour of Our Lady of Lebanon Maronite Cathedral to join us. So we're going to be going from the Brooklyn Bridge to Our Lady of Lebanon so that our sister church will be with us. And it's so exciting to invite the community to join us in prayer. So Bishop Mansour will greet Bishop Brennan at the door. We'll go in for adoration and prayers in the Maronite Rite, and then we'll head on to St. Joseph Co-Cathedral.
Sounds beautiful. Father Joseph Givino, thanks so much and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, to learn more about all things related to National Eucharistic Pilgrimage and the Congress in Indianapolis, just go to eucharisticrevival.org. And remember, the tablet will have comprehensive coverage at thetablet.org. You don't want to miss anything. It's the first National Eucharistic Congress in nearly 90 years. There was a lot of excitement in Queens over the weekend, a red storm, as nearly 1,900 students graduated from St. John's University. One of the people to receive a degree yesterday is someone who got their first St. John's diploma in 1984. Bishop Robert Brennan of the Diocese of Brooklyn, who already has a bachelor's in math and computer science, was given an honorary Doctor of Sacred Theology degree 40 years later. Now to one of the most unique traditions in Rome. We're talking about Pentecost and the Pantheon, a celebration that involves flowers and firefighters. Take a look. Firemen pushed thousands of red petals through the oculus of the Pantheon, meant to symbolize the descent of the Holy Spirit. The Pantheon is the oldest building in the world that's still in use today. It was built as a place of worship dedicated to the pagan gods in ancient Rome. In the year 609, it became a Catholic basilica. Scholars believe this beautiful rose petal tradition could have started that year. And that is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us, because we are putting your faith in the news. We leave you tonight with a look around the country and the pilgrims walking with Christ. The journey, the revival has begun.